What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. First the intro, then we get started. What is going on with crypto right now as well? It's scary. The stock markets yesterday, it was good. See you soon. Nah, I'm just kidding. Whoever typed microphone off, I got you. It's Friday, guys. It's time to celebrate the fact that we just had an awesome week in the stock markets. A mediocre week, most likely in the crypto. But you know what? There was some recovery. I'm a little concerned today. We have to get deep diving into this crypto because you know what? That sucked, what we saw in the last 24 hours. We saw a nice breakout and then now maybe a shakeout. I don't like shakeouts. I only like breakouts. Speaking of breakouts, people in the private Discord community, probably even people that have been viewing the stream. CRISPR. Thank you very much, CRISPR. You did a great day yesterday. In fact, I think it was probably the best performing of our scenarios here. CRISPR, finally. The biotechnology sector. Thank you very much, CRISPR, for treating us well. Yesterday was great across the board. We saw AMD movement. Square was up huge at one point. TDOC fired after breaking out. I mean, exceptional stuff. I was very, very happy. I'm sure many of you guys were. Now, a few people saying, where's the tie? Well, just keep have to watch through the stream because you never know. You never know what happens. Ty was good luck yesterday, says Victor Lau. We'll see about that, Victor. John Ben Gaming says, let's go. And then Marvin the Martian says, you trolled us, Tom. Yeah, I got to do it, man. I got to do it. Bradley Back says, slap those likes on. And we will talk about this right now. Let's just quickly do CRISPR first. You know, that was a great close. Jeez, that was a great close. I'm not sure. Like, the thing with the biotech sector is it's crazy. So when it goes, it can pack on a lot very quickly. We've seen that before. I mean, look at the power here. Look at the power here. When it moves like a bat out of hell. But the problem is, and not the crap Meatloaf song. You know, it moves correctly here. Anyone that knows Meatloaf, they'll know what I'm talking about. It's not the food. It's like a terrible singer. So here we've got the big movement up. It can really power and it gets into some volatile times. So if you're looking at this from a perspective of, hey, did we just get a breakout yesterday? Yes, we did. Did we hit a key resistance? Yes, we did. I'm in two minds. On one case, we've got higher volume. Higher volume, that's a good sign. Breakout is exceptional. We're coming into Friday. And the thing about this Friday is every single one of these stocks has been moving heavily into the session. We tend to see potential profit taking on a really great week like this in the later half of the session. So I think I'd be careful there. But this breakout tends to make me think that, you know, we're ready to make the next move. Where's the next move? Probably 150. Where's it currently? 137.88. I like the stock enough to potentially hold it, but this is a key critical level. A lot of people will have scaled out here. A lot of people would have closed their positions here, and I find that totally valid. By all metrics, if we get a nice weekly closure as well above this zone, especially where it is right now, even if it does nothing today, again, a great breakout. And you know what the best thing about it is really what a breakout is telling us about this stock is that it should continue with the distance. Now, that's giving you even more distance here. I mean, we've got the two touches to the bottom. You've got the two touches to the top. What is that? It is a verified channel. And if we have a verified channel, we get the movement hopefully to the next level, which could be that 160, 170 range. So there's a lot going on here in the markets. And yeah, CRISPR is certainly one of the ones that was breaking out. TDOC also strong play yesterday. Very nice. I enjoyed watching it go. I didn't enjoy the back half of the session. You know what happened, TDOC? We're meant to just powerhouse through to the 170. Look, that's still the aim. This stock is increasing in volume, which is a good sign. I don't particularly love the pullback that it did, but again, closure above, you can see the power that happens. If you're a day trader and you come into markets and you say, look, I want a day trade, I'm going to have 500 stocks that I'm going to look at, or 100 stocks or 50 stocks or whatever you might do. When you see critical breakouts like this, there is a high statistical chance, especially on a hyper stock, the next day is going to be a green session. Now, your worst case scenario usually as a day trader would be the pullback back to the zone that then should hopefully be followed by bullishness. And we actually saw an example of that yesterday. But first, before we get into that, I want to go through these markets. Let's have a look here at what people are saying. Drew Hanish says, meatloaf is good with mashed potatoes and gravy. Yeah, I don't know if I haven't eaten meatloaf in a long time. Maybe it's good. Amit says, how do you donate? Well, technically we take super chats here, but I will work out on the weekend how we can take others. I think, yeah, that's probably something that we will definitely look at next week. I know people want it. I've got Stripe as well. I just need to, create the links that work out there. Can you take a look at the FTSE 100? We'll see if we can later. Nike casually crushed earnings by $1 billion, says MG. Is that true? Let's have a look at Nike. Nike. So it crushed earnings, 12.72%. It was actually finding a base, and it's got a new all-time high. Wow. Now, I will say this to everybody. It's very rare that a market will open this high. Remember, this is not a small stock. This stock's worth $211 billion. We all know what Nike is. And it's crushed it. It's got a 12.72% gain today. Is this a stock that a day trader would come in and be like, oh, I love to buy this stock in the morning open session when it's already up 12.84? I want the chat to answer this one. Yes or no, chat? What do you think? Would you be buying $150? Or would you be a bit more big-brained about that and potentially... Well, I've probably answered their own question. But yeah, anyway, we'll see what you guys think. Gotham Bag, Super Chat at $5. Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Gotham. Your thoughts on the DoorDash Dash, not just the stock, but your general opinion about the company if you could. Okay, we can have a quick look at DoorDash, and I assume you mean this is the Uber delivery kind of thing. Yeah, I do have an opinion on that area, and I think it's a incredibly aggressive, massive loss lead fight to the end, bitter fight. There's about, how many are there? About 5 or 6, and they're all fighting it out. Look, I only use them when they give me a coupon, man. If they don't give me a coupon, it's not going to happen. We'll check out Dash in just a few seconds. Let's see what people say here. They say no, no, no. John says hell no. I want someone to say yes. No one says yes. That's correct. This is not like a CLOV or an AMC where you can jump on the bandwagon of the apes, go into the vertical limits of, the moon. This is one of those ones where it's like Biogen the other day. It opens up so huge. Sometimes they can go on runs, but, I would say 8 out of 10 times they do retrace, especially such an aggressive move as this. So this is probably going to be one of the bigger ones. I think we'll watch it into the open because 12.84% means there is some volatility. I could see it very easily coming down to the 147. Now, at that point, maybe there'll be some spike trading scalps. So basically, it could be like open up here, quickly come down to the 147, and pending the rest of the market is positive, then we might see a little bit of bullish momentum uptick again. But very dangerous to trade these types of things. You're better off just looking for the standardized breakouts, etc., etc. It doesn't look like there was too much loose lips as well. Wait, let me have a look. Even the volume wasn't that incredible. The volume? Oh, wait a second. Let me have a look here. Daily volume. Why was there... Well, that actually was a pretty good trade with these two gaps up and that volume increase. That's actually not a bad spot there. When you've got like a gap down, you've got a gap down like this, then you've got a bullish movement that comes with big volume, which means somebody's probably buying hard there. And at the other side, you've got a new gap high and a closure. What this really is doing is it's kind of like the lightning bolt in just daily candle form. And it's really showing us that we've got a decent change of trend occurring here. Now, you won't have an exceptional kind of lightning bolt on a 4-hour time frame or something. You won't have that. But what you will have is just that huge volume type tick. And it's really just about the fact that 1 second it's gapping down. Then it finds huge buying volume momentum, which probably means some hedge fund or something's buying it. Remember, it was at support. And then we see it gapping up. And a lot of people will know these candle patterns. Of course, you've got two. You've got the morning star and the evening star concepts. Now, usually they come with these types of candles in between, bullish hammers and stuff. But it's the same concept. It's the gaps that are important, because what are the gaps showing us? They're showing a change in sentiment. And when you build them in with volume and morning star, evening stars, or something that looks like it, remember, it's not ever going to look perfect from the textbook in the real charts. What we're looking for is the market psychology. If you were to ever get anything out of what we do on these streams, it is market psychology. So let's go through the market psychology right now after we do Dash, because we better do that. DoorDash. Who in the room uses DoorDash? Put your hands up. Do you use this thing? It is in Australia. It's obviously in America. And it is running here on the 1 hour 20. I tell you what. At least it's making a series of higher peaks. Wouldn't want it to breach the 20 though. Let's go and take a look at the daily. Ooh. Okay. So IPO'd over here December. I hate IPOs in America for the first 12 to 18 months. And it did break out recently. My main problem with these companies, and this comes down to what do you want to achieve from them? Do you want to achieve trades or do you want to achieve investment? My main issue with investment is I think they're all fighting it out. I think that while there is a huge chunk of business, there is so many companies out there and you have to lose money for so long, which means that I don't know which one wins. Is it going to be DoorDash? Is it going to be Uber Eats? Is it going to be some other, it used to be like Grubhub, I think, in America. Over here we have Deliveroo. It's not going to be Deliveroo, by the way. It is not going to be Deliveroo. That one's like this. Bleh. Deliveroo. It has the name Roo in it. It's not going to, that one's not the good one. But I'm concerned about those things. If you're thinking about it from a TA perspective, that 1 hour 20 was good. And also I think a pullback to the 166 could add some further kind of buy pressure. Why? We have the 20 exponential probably meeting with it at the same time. You've got previous resistance. You've got a little bit of buying support you saw over here. So this zone makes some sense for us to get pick up off. The company, I think they burn cash. I don't like the growth trajectory, but then I'm not a huge fan of going for little snippets, little $5, $10. And ultimately, what are they doing? They're going to stuff over the restaurants, because to make more money, they grind the restaurants from their percentages. They kill them, which I already don't like, and they will continue to destroy them, because the whole plan here is, we're number one. We got the monopoly. If you want to use our service, guess what? We're going to steal 35 to 40% of your take. And that's what I think these businesses are all fighting for. They're all fighting for the ability to put the grind on the restaurants. And ultimately, the restaurants are going to go back to what they used to do. The local pizza shop's going to say, I'm going to do my own delivery because stuff you, DoorDash. You ruined it. Anyway, that was my rant. Welcome to the 876 viewers to the Friday stream. And because it's Friday, I thought we had to do something special. So you know what? I'll just quickly take these headphones off. We've got a special tie today, guys. There we go. All right. The golden tie. This means that crypto is going to go up. Look at that. Beautiful. The golden tie. It is fantastic. We're ready. Golden tie Friday. Damn. We only bring this out when we're feeling good. All right? So we're feeling good, and we're going to turn crypto around right now. Golden tie, crypto turns around. That's what's going to happen. Let's have a look at the crypto markets, then we'll get into the stock markets, then we'll do the donations that are coming through right now. Let's have a look at yesterday's session. Firstly, big news. El Salvador. Those cats in El Salvador. What a beast of a nation. They give you $30. You get $30 in El Salvador. $30 worth of Bitcoin comes in September. Is that a big deal? I think it's kind of cool. It's pretty funny. Like, imagine that. They just give the government's like, hey, what's up? You get $30. That might be a lot of money over there. I'm not sure. I don't like the fact this pulled back. That sucks. I've got to say, I'm incredibly disappointed with the BTC because, you know, I don't think it's over. But I'm very, very sad that it stops here at 35.6 and it doesn't continue on at this stage. And that's because we actually got, you know, a nice trough, nice peak, nice high trough. We actually surged through. And that already should have shown more bullish intentions. And it really comes back to the exact same thing I've been saying for some time, which is, am I technically trading crypto right now? The answer is no. Because there is mixed signals going on here, and it just sucks. It really does. Like, if you have mixed signals and you've got all sorts of FUD, all sorts of mainstream media attention saying, oh, crypto is crashing. You know, I got called by someone the other day, oh, I think crypto is dying or something. I said, you know, it's like recovered like $4,000 or $5,000. Oh, I thought it was dying. So look, trendline speaking, you've got these last two lows. You've got a higher low still and a higher peak. It hasn't broken the sequence. You've got higher peak, higher low, higher peak, currently higher low. It's probably got to turn right now. I want to see it turn right now. BTC 33.5. Let's get an engulf. Let's get back above these moving averages on the 2 hour. Let's start the repair because it better do it right now. Otherwise, what are we going to see? A new low underneath this? Bad. It's really bad. We don't want that new low because all of a sudden we're testing back where we just got into the fearful stage and we're starting to break. And we don't want to break the theory that you guys have all been watching and following. Of course, we're speaking of the Wyckoff theory. You cannot break the Wyckoff theory at this point. If that happens, 20K, 25K, we don't want to get breach again. Because the concept of that theory really is that you've got your first fearful level. You've got your dead cat bounce. They call it something else. You've got your exceptional extra turns. Now, some people will say, okay, this one here is just the SC. I think it is, or something like that. Basically, it's the second step where it takes out the stop losses. Then we get more repair. Then we get another low with a spring, and then it moves forward. Now, that's one theory. Remember, it's all about maximum extraction in the theory, maximum manipulation of the human psychology. Once we do that, then we know that we're in trouble. So I've got here the series of high lows. I think that's okay. I want to see that continue to play out throughout the weekend, new peak, and then trundle on its way to 38,000. I don't want to see a new low under here. The zone is 32,265. Now, we also want to check some of the information that we can, the free awesome information. I've got one here. Cardano stake pool. I would never click on that. That looks like a scam. Look at that looking scam thing. That is scammy looking thing. So this is another problem that we have. What are the whales doing? The stupid, nasty whales. Look at this. Look at this increase here of whale shorts. Whale shorts increasing again. So this means BTC shorts are actually increasing. Datamish is this website. I think it's really cool. Sent in by one of the community members. Look at them. It's just straight back up here. Unhedged shorts, 10,000. Similar levels to over here. So why is the price action getting worse? Because the stupid whales are attacking it right now for massive extraction of money. Now, I don't know who they are. They don't have gold ties. Or maybe they probably do have gold ties. They've definitely got gold ties. And they are smashing us with these BTC shorts up. So we're going to have to watch that chart. Let's load the chart here. If you only have TradingView, find the descriptions in the links below. Use the BTC USD shorts. Look at the increase. This is exactly why we've got to be concerned. We've just hit 0.1. We need to see BTC shorts reduce. For this to work out, for us to see an increase in Bitcoin price, we do not want to see this continuing up. If this continues up, that is a bad sign. So for a lot of people that aren't in the market right now, would you buy BTC here? If you're crazy and you like to buy that little trend line, then you could. But if you prefer to see the whales in your favor rather than against you, you need to start seeing this turn around. And then BTC repairing itself. So you want to see that turning around, and then at the same time, you want to see a new peak being formed, okay? And when that new peak gets formed and it's turning around, it's telling you a story. You don't want to see them loading up more. We want to see them bringing it back. Be with us, whales. Don't be against us. That's what we've got to do. Scott Parry says Nike. Yeah, we checked Nike. Scroll back 10 minutes, Scott. You'll get it straight away. Welcome to the 1,069 viewers joining us today. Let's just quickly get into some of these. My goodness, there's super chats everywhere. Thank you, guys. It's Friday. It's fun day. DKK, $20 from Ulrich Nielsen. Tom, is BlackBerry a dead cat? Have a great weekend. Let's have a look at BlackBerry. Then we'll go back to our crypto stories. BlackBerry's on support. So you can see here support. Really what BlackBerry is doing, and we'll get rid of that line so you're not blinded, is it's making a series of lower peaks. It's a very weak type of thing that's occurring here. Now, what you want to do is you want to break this down onto like a 15-minute chart, and you want to say, okay, if we're making a series of lower peaks, and we're basically busting lower every single day, and every time we rally, the strength is not there, when do we know that BlackBerry's feeling better? Is it on support? No doubt. Is it looking weak? Yeah, at this stage it is. But if we breach through here, similar to the GME scenario, all of a sudden things change. So you've got your two stories, but yes, if we start breaching underneath this zone, absolutely BlackBerry's looking weak. And I would expect that to open the floodgates of fear, which of course means that the apes will lose control of this market and they'll push it down. BlackBerry is, remember, not one of our two pillars. We only have two pillars. It's the GME and the AMC. I believe they are the only two real, there is a fundamental value here, but there are only two real holds that people are doing, and that's the AMC and the GME. And it all requires, of course, those two to fire for the rest to get fired up. So be careful here with the lower peaks. We want to see that breached. Thank you very much, Ulrich, as always. So let's continue on our story before we do the super chats. Ethereum. Someone asked me, will it go back down to 1,700? Needs to turn now, man. Otherwise, breach under here. You know, the bad news, we've never seen a closure under here. Look, we had a big bullish wick, but we've never seen the closure under here. So it has to turn now. The whales have to start unloading their nasty shorts. That's the story of the crypto day. Whales unload. They start going long. We see Bitcoin turn around. The rest of these coins can start firing. Cardano, another one that's very, very strong, coming back down to support. You know, this is much stronger, but oh, look at this. That's a classic candle. It's actually a Forex style candle, this one. I want to show everybody this. That's a stop hunt, guys. That is one of the nastiest candles that you will see. Usually it proofs to new lows. So basically what's happened here is you've seen selling pressure. You get people selling off. They then put stop losses that aren't above the swing, which is not above this level, because this happens a lot in Forex currencies. And then you see this huge wick rejection back. And when this huge wick rejection back, it takes out everyone's stop losses and then fully commits to the downside. Now, if you saw a flow-on effect from that, it traditionally means further weakness comes through and you actually get some really nice shorts coming in. Basically, that's like a go in a mass manipulated market, like a Forex market, where there's a lot of algo trading. That's usually a go signal to go quite short. It's taken out the stops. It hasn't hunted the high. It's hunted a pullback, usually a 78.6 fib, actually, of the move down. And yeah, very interesting candle. In this circumstance, I haven't tested enough in crypto to know how well it works. Usually, though, that's a Forex. Yeah, I like that one a lot. I remember doing those all the time in the London European session. So all of the cryptos, they're all at levels. Even this one is very disappointing. These are all false breaks. And there's not much you can do about these as a trader because you've usually got to take them. I think these are solid setups with solid resistance breaks, with solid stories behind them. And sometimes you have to say, I'd take an L on that trade. You know what I mean? You ever had one of those? Now, does anyone, if you don't have one of those in your trade system, if you don't see like a trade where you think, could I have done anything differently? And the honest answer is always going to be, you know what? I would have taken it again and again and again with proper risk management. If that's the way you sometimes feel about some trades, that's perfectly fine. And you should sometimes see trades that you cannot get out of. 7 out of 10 trades. If you can get 7 out of 10 trades, you're a god. You're a god. You're doing great. 7 out of 10. It doesn't sound that hard, does it? Even people that get 5 out of 10 trades, if your risk reward makes sense, you're also a god at the correct rate. But if you're getting between 5 and 7 with a high risk reward, 2-to-1 kind of action, you're actually doing really, really well. You can be successful in trading. This trade here, I think, is the suck because we had resistance, we had support, we had a very logical conclusion behind a lightning bolt closure above, and we had a very logical target, 80 cents. No doubt, very logical target. Now, are you counter trending? Yes. Is counter trending damn hard? Hell yes, it is. But the other question you've got to ask yourself is, would you have even been stopped out yet? Okay, so let's say you entered in here. Where's your stop meant to be? Behind the last low, guys. So are you stopped out? No. Are you feeling crappy about the trade right now? Sure. But it's still decent quality from the perspective of when you were looking at that breach. And you were looking at the candles. The candles are telling us the correct story. Rejection, 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 bullish close. Bullish close leads to further bullish momentum. We hope then at that point we can start firing towards 80 cents. Now this is XRP, so it's a questionable coin. But you know what I mean? You're not out technically on a swing-based trade. You're also making the right decision. So if you've sometimes done that, it's just a bit of a lesson that I guess I learned. You got to be honest with yourself. You are your own worst enemy in trading and investing. There's no doubt. All of us have pulled trades early. All of us have pulled investments out when we shouldn't have. Probably many of you have traded Apple out over the years instead of just hodling damn Apple and making 700%. We've all done it. I've done it. We all do that. But it's whether we learn from those things. So let's look at the US 100 because it's been powering on here pretty well throughout the session. So some people had that line drawn this week. Fair enough. Some people had this trend line drawn, broken above. I think that's a good one. So we'll look at that in a second. And a lot of people were talking about, we've got like a bearish wedge. The problem is everyone's changing their lines. They're like, it's here and now it's here and then it's over there. And you don't want to be changing your lines. So we delete that. And we go with the idea that we breached a very nice new peak here this week. And when we go to the QQQ and you take a look at the weekly, remember, we've got our giant ascending range. That is beautiful. I love that very much. If you don't have that, take a snapshot. Look how beautiful that is. This one goes to infinity. This one just goes to 30. I don't know why, but this is a pretty sweet chart. And if we go down to the weekly here, we're going to see a decision made. So we have indecision candle, long leg doji, more powerful than people think. No one gives the long leg doji enough love. We do on this channel. And we've got a closure that's most likely going to occur today above it. So it's basically decision made. Now we can start the slow, blah, 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 melt up throughout, hopefully, the end of June into July. We've seen hyper stocks fire, good sign. We've seen Tesla come back, It's a good sign for the Nasdaq, as it is a big portion. We've seen all of the US tech stocks boom. And guess what? At the same time last year, they were also booming. And guess what happened? We saw a decline in breadth of the market, which means that not every one of the stocks was rising across the board. It was specifically targeted in at a few key sectors. And we're seeing something like that happen again, which makes me think the market is kind of sick. But at the same time, we're following that price action. Now, if we're trying to figure out what's going on today, it's going to be probably the toughest day of the week. And I think we've been consistently bullish on this channel this week, consistently following it through. And the reason I say it's tough is because, do we know 2-hour 50s have been good pickups? We do. Around that area has been pretty good. How far away are we from a 2-hour 50? Pretty far. Do we think people may take profit here on the Friday? I'll let the chat answer that one. So you guys answer. And that's my main issue. We've been pushing up 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We're doing great work, but I do potentially see late close today. Maybe there's going to be some profit taking. Maybe. Sherlock Holmes says, Barber is on a comeback. Agreed. We'll check that out soon. Jay Nibble says that it was the story of my life, Tom. And then Sherlock Holmes has a whole bunch of big brains in there. That's good. That is good. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the stuff. So, yeah, QQQ still looks strong. I'm worried about the Friday session, but you know what? Would I close my longs if my plan was to take certain stocks into key levels? I don't think you deviate from what you're seeing on the charts. But from a Nasdaq perspective, I'm not like, oh, yeah, I love buying this zone. I don't. I prefer to buy specific key areas. It's not every day is a great day to trade. Let's have a look at the S&P 500 because this is going to pack a new peak, all-time peak, potentially here today. Sounds like we're saying that every day because we almost are. Here we have a trading range opening this morning. Now, S&P 500 has been different to the Nasdaq. We are starting to see some things fire, and we've got a trading range here. And you can see the lows. You can see how it's acted with that. You've got buy pressure, long leg doji. You got buy pressure again. You got a hammer showing bullish strength. And then you've got it testing the resistance coming into the session. We're only 1 hour away from the session right now, and we're testing that 42.75 area. So certainly a key area for us to be looking at. If day traders come in here, what do they expect? They expect about this range. What is that as a percentage? It's not unbelievable. It's only 0.24%. So, I think there will be some people looking for a breakout here in the session, and I will leave that chart and we'll move to a new one. Victoria says there's going to be some profit taking. Yes. Yeah, that's possibly true. Oliver Quinn says nobody wants cash. That stuff is trash. I like cash. Everyone hates on cash. I don't mind cash. You know what? It's going to make me sad when we get rid of cash. And I know a lot of you will be like, what are you talking about? I hate cash and coins. Yeah, but I mean, part of the reason I'm in trading is because we had cash. I used to collect we had 20-cent pieces here in Australia, and my grandparents would give me them, and I'd put them in a jar, and then I'd take that jar to the bank, and I'd bank that stuff, and it felt great. So, yeah, that was part of the reason. Maybe I just became in love with the cash monies at that point. All right, let's catch up here. Knock Super Chat, $2.99. Tom, any thoughts on PLTR? Small breakup yesterday. I think nothing really has changed on PLTR. We've seen a slow melt here, multiple days. We've been bullish ever since we got through here, finally. We got on the PLTR bandwagon with all of you guys. The breach that you're talking about probably happened the day before, in my opinion. I know you have a wick breach up here, but look, it's slowly meandering its way back to the $27. It's still going up, and it's got lead. This thing could go to 30, it could go to 28. Nothing really is problematic for it at this stage. I also think the important thing that happened over the last couple of days is we actually are trying to breach, and you can see these long leg dojis here on the 4 hour. We're breaching the top of this range and then finding buy pressure. So I think a big thing for PLTR traders is going to be to get above this through the session and then start to push for that 27.40 area, because this means indecision at the peak. It's broken through an upward trend line, important. It's been in a series of higher lows, great. shows bullish strength. We've had some good breakouts, and then we've got indecision here, which we can then lead into the more. So that's probably what I'm looking for. A little breach up here, follow through. PLTR, when it fires, it does do well. Andy Pandy, knock 20. Stem on New York Stock Exchange, please, Tom. Lightning bolt forming on the 35. Let's have a look at stem. I always think of this thing as just like a stim pack. Like it's just, you know, that in StarCraft with the Marines. Probably no one knows that. It's like, yeah, that's the stuff, I think they used to say. In STEM, it is a financial conglomerate. It's got nothing to do with StarCraft or Marines. Look, we had higher lows. You're talking about lightning bolt here at the 35. So I would say this is more of an ascending triangle with a breach. And you know my big problem with the breach, and it's probably giving us warning signs at this point, we got to be careful here, is why are we unable to hold bullish green candles above this? Look at these 4 hours. Those 4 hours were terrible. The dailies, long leg doji, right on the close. We need bullishness today. Otherwise, we come back to the trend line, and that sucks. We know it's a key resistance. We know it's the level we want to break, but I want to see momentum, man. I want to see momentum. So what I would do is go down a small time frame, like a 15-minute, and I'd be looking for it to breach a level. Let's call it up here. So I want to see this thing start to turn around and give us what it's already meant to be doing, which is bullish days. I want to see bullish days when you close a new high. I don't want to see it going, oh yeah, you know, that sucks. So closure above this point would be key. At least something like that. That will begin the repair. And then you are correct. If it gets above 36.50, that top range, then yeah, it's basically putting in its own lightning bolt on that particular time frame. You are correct. And if it gets above, it'll be good. Knock knock, $2.99. That tie is so wrong, it's right. This tie is disgusting. That's why it's right. Correct, knock knock. Bradley back, super chat $2. Does BA have 255 in the take? In the take or the tank? BA. We have that in our watch list, don't we? We like BA, if I remember rightly. And we do. It's the boomer stock that we're feeling good about. And it started firing, and that wasn't cool. But because we had this level, it got a little bit under that. But it's turning around very nicely. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. Nice breakout yesterday. You're looking at 255. How much percentage is that? Only 2%. Yeah, I think it's possible, especially with what we're seeing with the US 500. So we've trapped the US 500. It breaches the top. BA should be able to come along with that. This is the type of stock that is starting to fire. You can see here the indecision between these 2 days. Decision made yesterday. I'm looking for a new breach, actually. I want to see this thing get above here and start to really skedaddle. Like I'm looking for 300 to 320 on this. I've said that for a while on Boeing. It's slow, it's boring, but it is grinding higher on the day. 255 makes sense. You would probably have to look for the US 500 to break on through. Welcome to the 1,280 viewers as well. Thank you very much for joining us on the Friday session. Thank you for all the subscribers coming through as well. Great to have you here. Got J Nibble super chatting, CHF $5. What are your thoughts on Hubs? It's been up as high as $606, but then it saw a pullback in the last 2 days. Any thoughts on trading low volume stocks? I do have thoughts on low volume stocks. They're kind of thin, and the problem with them is going to be, it's kind of like CSL in Australia. They're not often great technical trades. That being said, this one has had a good trend line, and you're wondering here, pullback last 2 days. What do you think of it? I think it's kind of hit the top of the range, and it's been pretty consistent with that. We've got one touch and it came down here. You got two touches and it came down here, and you've touched it again and you've started showing weakness. So that kind of makes me think, maybe back down to even the trend line, and that's a pretty serious trade down. Let's have a look at the smaller time frames. Not a huge fan of trading the low volumes. That must have been the original concept we had on the bullish break. Yeah, because that was the channel range. So it ended up getting even better than we thought. 1 hour. Oh, God, that's thin. Look at this ugliness, guys. Look at the low volume. Sick TA. I don't like that at all. So I think trading, bad. Swing trading or investing, potential. And yeah, I would just go with the 2 lines, and I would just be looking for little lightning bolts. The only type of thing you can do here, look for the lightning bolt down on maybe like a 4-hour plus or a 2-hour. And then as it breaches through, you'd short it down. I'm not looking at longs at this point on hubs. Yeah, it just doesn't look like it's a long kind of stock at the moment, J Nibble. Ulrich Nielsen, DKK, $20. RHT, Relic Health. Thoughts about breakout rejected. Let's have a quick look at that. And then we'll get into our usual show. RHT. God, that's hideous. Why is this here? Oh, that was the last lower highs. Well, that breach didn't... Well, it worked to the point, yeah. Breach, 57. Ugh. Nasty one. What have we got going on? False move up, false move up. Key resistance at 50. So you know if it cracks 50, Ulrich, it's probably going back to the 56, 57, which is good. I mean, that's still a decent percentage. You've got a series of kind of higher lows here with equal highs, at least the last recent ones. And you know what I feel about breaching these? That would be very bullish. Downside breach, God, you really don't want that. This stock is not really great either way. I prefer it to the upside and a breach above 50 to the 57. I think that's a higher probability. The breach to the downside, I'm not sure where it goes. Does it go 30 cents? Shorting stocks is hard, guys. Buying stocks is easy. You know, it's that's the difference. Buying, easy. Shorting, much harder. You got to be fast and nimble. I'd be looking for a breach of 50 on this, Ulrich. Brian Grant, from a technical perspective. Brian Grant, $5. Hi, Tom. Do you think Enphase still has headroom? My target was 172, but I'm thinking of maybe going to 200. Man, you got the diamond hands on Enphase. I totally see you 172. Just before the 170, 5, 6 break. Oh, okay. I'm going to show you something here, man. See this length, okay? You extrapolate that length out. Usually that's about what you want. And then you usually get a little bit of a pullback. So it depends how diamondy your hands are. You know, if we get up here and we pull back this length and you're okay with that, I think you've got to expect that Enphase can't continue to moon forever and it will pull back. Usually you've got like a length, then you have a pullback, then you have a very similar length, which is what it's done. It's about to hit a resistance. There's 2 ways of playing it. One, you let it get to the resistance and you take the profit or around that level. And then if it breaches through the resistance, you re-enter. That's a very common, great strategy. That allows you to potentially make a better informed decision. Number one, could you be off like $1? Sure, you could miss out on $1. But you're going to allow the market to potentially come down and do the 2 steps forward, or in this case, like 5 steps forward, 1 step back, and pick it up at a cheaper price in the future towards your 200 goal. Probably should go even more if you're going to. I don't know why I'd stop at 200. If you're going to go, you might as well go all the way, man. And then if it does breach later, after it does pull back there, you could also enter. So I think there's not too many bad scenarios. It's kind of like CRISPR. You know, you might have taken resistance profit yesterday on CRISPR, but that doesn't mean that you can't get back in if you want to. You're only going to be a worse off $1, and you've allowed the market to show you the next level of its psychology. That's what's really important there. So, Brian, yes, you're correct. Yes, it's getting very, very close. I would think there's resistance there, and that's kind of why I'm leaning into this idea that we're going to have a little bit of a short off soon, because when we go through our stocks of interest very soon with the community, you're going to see that a lot of these stocks are coming into pretty key resistances, or at least they're getting close. Eka Aurora has TA on BLNK. We'll do that in a second, Eka. So let's continue to read some of the chat. Let's see what everybody's saying. They're saying BTC testing 33. It's not good. I don't like it at all. Makes me unhappy to see this type of thing. So when you look at this market and it's not recovering at this stage, it's about to breach a new low very soon. It's not good, especially when those BTC whales are loading up at this point. Remember, BTC shorts, it's been proven to be pretty effective at watching the whales turning around each way. And where are they right now? Where are those nasty whales? BTC shorts. Yeah, they're continuing to load in. Until they turn this around, we can't feel that comfortable in the Bitcoin market. We just can't. What else have we got here? Baba, what's next, please, says Paulo. We'll check that out very, very soon. Tesla, do you think it will pull back to $700? Pull back to, oh, you mean go up to $700? Yeah, so this was the concept of what we thought would happen. We had that big trend line that comes through all of the previous lows and hits with 700. So these are our lines from yesterday on Tesla. And then Tesla breached and it went crazy and it broke through here, which I think is overall a very big positive for Tesla. I think it's clearly cemented that it wants to do that. Now, does Tesla have a history of filling gaps? Over here, it filled the gap. Over here, it didn't fill the gap, but it did find weakness. Gap ended up filling a lot later on. Gap filled up. What else we got? Gap, no fill. So gap, no fill. So there's a lot of times that this stock barely fills. So we've got to think about what we're doing here. Do we feel positive if it breaches 700? Yes. I think it continues to get a lot of hype, a lot of momentum from the community that is obviously very, very, very into Tesla, and we start to make that move to 740. If we pull back through the gap, what have we got in our favor as a Tesla bull? You've got the 660 support. You've got the gap filling at the 660 support, and then underneath that, you've got the trend line that's coming down. That point there is pretty much intersecting to a degree. So I think that there's two ways to play this. One, it breaches 700 and you feel great about it and you just get involved in the movement if that's what you choose to do. And then you've also got this idea of filling the range, getting back to the 660, which we know was heavy pressure buying quite a few times previously. So it makes sense both scenarios. It just depends which one or which level you like. I feel like Tesla is starting to really get its mojo back. That we saw that down here where I was kind of getting much more positive on it. Then we breached the 635 and that began that first very, very aggressive move here. Very aggressive move. Tom, check Bitcoin wisdom not looking good. Yeah, I saw. Well, I'm using data mesh here, but having so much BTC shorts is not good. There's nasty whales, guys, nasty whales. Let's keep going through the market. So we've got dollar index floating around, not really doing too much. Is this good? No. Does it look more bearish than bullish at this stage? Yes. 91.40 still an area of interest for dollar index. Now, weakening dollar is technically good for gold. Can we get gold, which is structuring and coiling and getting ready to get through 1800? Remember, we've got it trapped. 1760, breach below, we think more negativity is coming into gold. Breach above 1800, we think more positivity is coming into gold. And hopefully that's the end of the current downtrend. And I think all of this is going to synergize with the dollar index, whether it bounces through 91.40 or breaches below it again and shows further weakness. So that'll be a story for the session, a story probably for next week. We've got silver, very similar thing, trying to make a series of higher peaks and higher lows as it tries to breach the 2650 zone. And then we've got US oil, 73.50. That's a pretty good level. If we go down to the daily, you can see here it's all over the place. So it's all positive for oil, but it's so close to the 75 that I'm losing interest in it, I've got to say. I don't think the great trades are there anymore. It's too close to the point, and for me, it's more risky than worth it, if you know what I'm saying. We got to the zone or close enough, like 74.20. That's pretty damn close. We could put a couple extra bucks on here, but it's leading into that point that I don't know if it's great. Yeah. So Doesn't really matter. Tesla volume slowly trending up in the last few weeks. Yeah, another thing that I would always look with Tesla is to do what we do with most of the meme stocks, and that is to check the current interest in the stock. Remember, Tesla is traded heavily by retail traders. It is a very important factor. And yes, I know a lot of people are talking about Virgin Galactic. It's still crap. I know that everyone's hyped on it and it's $49 and stuff. I think it's too early on these stocks from an investment perspective. From a trade perspective, hey, have your way with it. But $49, come on, guys. So Tesla, number 6. That means the chitter chat's going up. Message volume up 23%. See that? Very important with Tesla that we get everybody involved in the market. It needs to crescendo and hit really, really, really beautiful discussion points on this point, because when it does, lots of retail traders push it. Obviously, it's been well known. It's probably the most well-known stock for bringing PS, price of sales, or the current level of fundamental understanding to its knees. I mean, no one in Wall Street understood what Tesla's value was. So yes, I do think that's very, very important to be checking out. What about SPCE? Let's have a look at SPCE. So SPCE is up huge today because of the news. It's been trending up. Obviously, its space is back and everyone's feeling great about it. I tend to not believe in this at all. $48. It's even got more runway on it to go hit the highs. So because it's so aggressive, it could easily get to $59. No, I'm not saying it can't get there. Price action can get it there. Momentum can get it there. Discussion can get it there. Doesn't mean that I think it's good. That's my reserved opinion. You may disagree with me. I think it's complete trash. That's what I think. Complete trash. What do you guys think? Do you like it? You can like it. I just don't like it. Brent Masenko says space is just speculative, just like NOx, but worse in its time frame. Needs more time. I agree. It kind of reminds me of every other thing that's ever happened. 3D printing, marijuana stocks. Not many people know how crazy, and Tilray's not even a great example of it. They don't know how these stocks went initially. Oh, it's the best thing ever, Woo, yeah, it's so great. We're going to make so much money. Oh, but it didn't make nothing. And that's why you've got to be careful in the markets, because this happens 10 times over 10 years in sectors. The new hot industry, robotics, big. AI discussion back in 2013-14 was massive. We had massive discussion about 3D printing. Oh, it's the next big thing. They all crashed. The cloud computing, too early. Everyone was investing in cloud computing back in the day. It got obliterated. Then it came back because it was actually a very legitimate business. So I think SPCE you got to be very careful with. It's just the way I look at it. Just the way I look at it. Agree, Tom. SPCE is not for me. No, and it also sounds like, for all the Australians out there, it sounds like the code sounds like canned fruit. You guys will know what I mean from Australia. Echo Aurora TA on BLNK. Let's do that. So we've got the S&P 500 trapped within a range. We're looking for a range breakout there. We're cautiously optimistic into the Friday session for the Nasdaq, for the hyperstonks, which we'll go through very soon together. The only thing we're scared for right now, actually, I think it is the only thing we're scared for right now, is probably going to be the crypto market, because you would actually think that most of the news should be good, but the whales are killing us. BLNK, what do you think? Oh, this is not bad. Hey, man. Nice. So this is a consumer services with a beautiful coil. Actually a little flaggy. Nice. And I want to see if it proofs. Okay. Let's see. Full breakout on this one. Not bad. BLNK up 4.09% yesterday. Small increase of volume. We've got a point we could breach, which is like 42.50. And if that happens, definitely feeling a lot better about the market here. Nice. Okay, I'll add that into the list of watches. Where's my, the hell? What is this thing? Get out of here thing. There we go. BLNK. Blink Charging. Oh, it's one of those companies. Well, I don't know if I like it that much then. But from a trade perspective, it is doing the right thing. We'll put it in speculations. Speculative. It's speculative. Speaking of speculative, we got a nice TA yesterday and actually pulled back, and that was Beam. You know, Beam looked really good on the breakout. It's a very similar strategy. So we've had the recovery. We've got through that series of, lower highs that have come through here, lower peaks. We've breached. We've got a 2050. We've got a 200, and then we've pulled back yesterday back to the resistance. I don't lose hope at this level. I just look for a little lightning bolt now in a small time frame. So when we go through our speculation, because it's really thin, and you can see the weird trade volume here, it's basically got to look little lightning bolt, and then we can be more confirmed that the bulls are back in control of this one. So Beam is, I don't know what the stock really does, but from a TA perspective, that closure out was significant. And even though it pulled back yesterday, it's just back down to the support where you now hope the buyers come in. Because it was 4%, we've got to see a little time frame change of trend. Cronus says SPCE up 20% pre-market. Yep, that's on the news. So that is what's caused it there. Demand Sani. I love your donation, man. $7.99, the man. I'm going to call you the real estate mogul of Melbourne. Hey, mate. Hope you're well. Very good, thank you. ASX 200, thumbs up. I know it generally follows the US. That is true. Just a way to support you when I am up and free. Well, thank you very much, Demand. I appreciate that. Let's have a look at the ASX 200. So you are correct. I usually go on and on about how this trades with the US 500. It's not got a full correlation. You know what was interesting about this market is that we had very, very highly priced banks that only just started tipping over. Whereas in the US market, banks were declining for quite a few weeks now, and then they just found support. So we've got clear support here at 72, kind of 60 zone. You can see that it's getting a little sick from the series of lower peaks. So we've got kind of like equal tests. These are futures, not the real market, so you need to remember that. You've got a peak, lower peak, and a lower peak. If we breach underneath here, I actually think our market might go to like 7,100. Even without the US 500, if the banks start failing or tech fails or whatever else is in the, energy. Remember, our industry is energy, materials, and banks. We're not like the US with the tech side. So the tech side in the US can go boom, the whole market can go running, and our market's just disgusting and sick. So yeah, lower peaks, and I'm looking for a breach underneath maybe this low here to signal that we're going actually a bit more weakness. Where I expect buying pickup is about 7,100 on our market. Thank you for your donation as always, and I hope you have a great weekend. All right, let's go through every one of the stocks of interest now. We've got Square. Good closure out yesterday. Nasty 4-hour here. Square will probably open down. It'll probably be down throughout today's session. That daily is crap. It's obviously a shooting star. And it really requires, we've got the 2050 cross. It's good bullishness long-term here, but I don't like that candle. And it's because of the Bitcoin probably that did it. So we got close to the 250, failed, came back down to 244. I hate the candle. I want to see just any bullish close today. I just want to have like a little candle like this. That's fine. Just stabilize the stock. Let the moving averages start to get up to it, and then we can move on. We need Bitcoin to really start firing. I want to see Bitcoin above 34.5 again so that we know that Square can move through. So this is not something I would be like, oh, I love this trade today. Because, I don't, unfortunately. Even though I like it, I don't. TDOC broke through, which spoke about it before. Continues, hopefully, its trend up to the 170. This still looks pretty solid. Nice bullish close, a little bit of rejection, and then move towards 170 is the aim. Airbnb fumbles. For day traders, you've got a clear resistance break now that you want to see. Trap between the 20 moving average on the daily and the 50 moving average on the daily. This always shows us as traders and investors that we're basically coiling. And we breach the top side, We should go up to 164. We breached the downside. It's bad. I mean, at that point, where are we going? Probably 140. So I want to see the breach to the upside, and Airbnb is fumbling along. For alerts, something like 154 would be a level that I'd start to look at from a technical perspective again. Apple, it's fine. It's just kind of floating around on its way up to the 136, but it's not exciting. Snow was a question we had before. This one continues to grind higher here. You can see all of these days are bullish. So the most important thing here is, although it's doing nothing at all, what it is doing is it's generally finding a slight amount of bullish pressure each day through the candles. So there's always buyers and there's a decent volume, which tells me that there are accumulators here. So if we think about what happened, this is actually not a perfect kind of Wyckoff scenario, but it is in some ways, because you've got that mass fear coming in, then you've got the SC test, then you've got that final big wipeout, which could happen on Bitcoin. Then you come back up, repair, and at this point, you're creating the spring above. So actually, it's very similar to the strategy. A lot of people won't see it straight away, but this is, when you know the strat, this is the actual type of thing that you want to be doing. And I don't see this coil above here as any negative. It's getting ready. It's getting damn ready for us to go boom and through. And that's all we're waiting for. We're just waiting for this thing to make that extra little bit of high. And it's getting close. Maybe a little breach above here, just a little closure. Maybe even yesterday was, so close. New high, actually, for a bullish close. I don't mind it at all. Very good. Very good. Swipe says, I didn't get a reminder today. What do you mean, man? A reminder for the stream. I'm not sure what the old YouTubers does. We've got 1,450 people here, though, so thank you very much. And thanks for all the likes, guys, and the support this week. It's been amazing. Enphase we did before. RK, because of Tesla, doing nice. From a TA perspective, you're looking at that 129 level as being a key point to look at. ARCG continues its strength. 92 is the target. CRISPR belted through the high up here. Time will tell probably today whether it's a true breach or not. PLTR we did. AMD, amazing closure, guys. Long leg doji into big decision. This is a good closure for AMD. New peak. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, AMD fans. That's very nice. I like that. Because this is the first time, at least in those last couple of moves, that we've breached through. And we've been bullish here on AMD for quite a few days. We got bullish over here. We got bearish here, obviously. We got bullish again here. We got the 1 day of long leg doji, and then we breached hard yesterday, which was awesome to see. So I'm actually targeting... what's the target? First step, something like an 88.80, 88.70, but I want more. I'm greedy. 93? I think it's a big close yesterday for this. Not sure where I like to take profit. I mean, is it like a 96? Probably. The whole kahuna. Maybe even a new high. It looks quite tasty. Not bad. Z, great breakout yesterday. 2 really strong days here for this. I don't like the stock itself, but that is a breach of the lower peaks. Another hyper stock firing up after being stuck for so long. Very risky stock, I feel like, on this one, but it did breach, and that's, again, another bullish intention here. Probably see a little bit more information, but if you like this stock, it's fired up hard, breached through here. You've got your lows. You've obviously got huge consolidation, double bottom, so you can look for 130 kind of targets on that from a TA perspective. 130, previous supports, good psychological resistance. Yeah, not bad. What do I think about Chainlink? We'll check that out soon. Splunk, we've covered several times. Let's have a look at Zoom. Nothing going on with Zoom. CRM, boring. Good stock, boring. We did Beam, and then we've got Baba. I think Baba's on. Look at it. Baba. It's the most hated stock that's actually decent quality in the index, I reckon. Damn, that thing's hated. Damn, guys. Ever since October last year, it just got belted. Look, we talked about the closure, the long leg doji. Yesterday, we had the bullish close. That is a good sign for the Baba. We've got a lot of leeway here on this. I mean, we've got the double bottom potential with the breach up here. You've got the 240, a clear resistance target for it. And you've got plenty of retail community looking forward to getting into this stock. I've seen a lot of people on the Twitters mentioning this. By the way, follow FX Evolution on the Twitter if you're interested. BlackBerry, sir, please. We did BlackBerry before. You can definitely check it out. First 10 minutes, we did BlackBerry. A few people want Net, CrowdStrike. We'll check out all of those. Yeah, so Baba, what else can you say? Breached the trend line. I'd love to see volume come back into it, but I think the buyers are back in control of this at this point. That's good. Jonas Wenske super chat $5. Hi Tom, you're my go-to YouTuber when it comes to the market. Appreciate it, man. You think Netflix will fill the gap to 540? Not a stock I've looked at recently, actually. Let's have a look at Netflix. Check it out. Ooh. What a close yesterday. Why didn't I look at it? Yeah, dude. That's really nice. Nice. Beautiful double bottom. Your gap move makes sense too. It's like what we did on Twitter. Yep. I bet you at proofs. Let's have a look. Oh, man. 527. Why Netflix? Why are you up 1.73% pre? Yeah. It's actually been good for 2 days. I missed this one. That makes me sad. That's a good trade. Yeah, I think it fills. It just makes sense. You've got great proof. You've got great base formation. You've got increased volume coming through on that breach, which means there was a little bit of accumulation by some nasty Wall Street player out there. And it makes sense to fill the gap as well on the bull side. It's also behind a lot of the market because it's a pretty terrible stock to be trading recently, but that is a very solid closure. So yeah, you're correct, Jonas. Well done finding that one. It's good, dude. E. Elliott, $5. Covered this weeks ago. GDRX, recent IBO. Is GDRX that drug stock? Is this the drug stock? Oh, yeah, the sick drug stock that Amazon's going to kick the ass. Rising revenues, 30% short sold because of the Amazon stuff. Inverse head and shoulders, price target 47 or a speculative play? E. Elliott, definitely speculation. Look, a lot. This is the Twitterverse coming in here. The Twitterverse love this stock, dude. I've seen them going for it all the time. They love the Goodricks. I'm pretty sure it's... Just correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but this is the... Internet software services. I thought this was a company. This is definitely the company that sells drugs, yeah? Online. Am I correct? Steven says, Nike, please. Yeah, we'll check out Netflix soon. Marvin the Martian goes, go Tesla, you beautiful thing. That's true. I never thought I'd see Marvin trade Tesla, but he's been in it the last couple of days, I reckon. He's a little bit sneaky there. Doing all right in the stocks right now, aren't you, Dave? It's not bad. This is actually not bad from a TA perspective. You do have an inverse head and shoulders. You've got a nice coil spring right shoulder, which means, firstly, that the buyers are actually in full control of this channel, this pattern right now, and that they're looking to push it through. It's a downward slope here. You can see the peaks. Even the little breach out yesterday was pretty good. It's definitely speculative. It's a hyper stonk. It's also an IPO. So you know what I feel about IPOs. We are September to June. So it's almost done a year, which is a good time. And your target, you said, was 47. 47 is probably even conservative here. But I think you're targeting around those previous supports, which makes sense. 46, 47. Yeah, probably right. It's speculation, but you're doing good TA. Cross of the 2050. It's good stuff, E. Elliott. You're doing good stuff, but I think the stock is crazy. It's the Groupon of pharmacy. Yeah, it's drugs. Yeah. Lieutenant Dan says Beam will most likely bump Monday after it joins the Russell. Good point, man. If it's joining the Russell, that would be good. PSFE is exploding, says Scott Morgan. Didn't we take that off our view watch? I think it got taken off. We'll check it out soon. Thank you very much. So E. Elliott, yes, short stock, popular retail play, and the correct technicals showing up here. Got Ultimus coming in with a $1.99 donation. No message, but thank you very much, Ultimus, for the support. Awesome. Then we've got Sabrina Klein, $5. Hey, Tom, been watching for months. Thank you for teaching the good word. No worries, Sabrina. That's awesome. Could you please go over ARC F? Thank you, and have a great weekend. We certainly can. We'll do it in just a few moments. So the market is coming in all right. Let's have a look now at our pre-market list here. We are less than 20 minutes away from Friday open. Hope you guys are having a great time. Futu Holdings up 1.9%. Baidu, they're all firing, guys. Look at this. Chinese stock. Chinese stock. Maybe there's another one there that I don't see. But I think they're starting to fire, these stocks. We've been watching them now for a week or two. Okay, we've got to check them all out before they open. FedEx down. Oh, yeah, that's right. Take that, FedEx. You overpriced crapper. It's so overpriced. FedEx. Get out of there. Get out of there, UPS. That's right. You come. So those two shorts that we had, they're getting down. That's awesome. I just think those stocks are just ridiculously priced. But anyway, we keep going through. PayPal, yeah. Square will be somewhere in here. Where's Square? Only down 0.27. Okay. That's actually more bullish than I thought it would be. Let's go over to the watch list here. Speculation. We'll click up. What have we got going on? We've got Nokia 3.21. Churchill Group. Interesting to see that coming back into the play. Sundial over $1 still. And we scroll down. The big bad ones are BlackBerry. Look at the channel range there, the lower peaks. We did it first 10 minutes if you're interested in BlackBerry and us covering it. Clov is getting taken out as well. And AMC 5670. So it's still, or 5570. It's still in the range, the middle of the area. We'll continue to check that out throughout the session. So, yeah, GDRX. Huh. You know what? Damn right. GDRX, the crazy, weird spec. That is a speculation play if ever I've seen one. There it goes. I got to see these Chinese stocks. Yep, breakout. JD breakout. Above Shooting Star. Takes out short sellers. That's a breakout. Let's have a look at the next one. Okay. Good, good, good. Baidu. Yeah, whatever. All right. Still looks okay, but I don't see anything that I love. Where's my barber? We saw the barber. What about the Pinduoduo? The people say it's a scam one. Yeah, it did well. Oh, 5% yesterday. Pinduoduo. This is the one that a lot of people claim is a scam. Breach here today. Pretty big deal. So they're all coming back into force. You can even see it. You can just see it across the board. These Chinese stocks are starting to go. They're starting to go, guys. Everyone hates them, but Wall Street, they're getting their tingly-tanglies in there. They're like, oh, there's no value in the markets anymore. We've got to go find these ones. Whoa, geez. Jose. We need to do ARCF. And then we'll do Jose. Give claps to Jose already, or Jose. It's a crazy donation. So, guys, I want to see claps in the chat right now, and then we'll read it very, very soon. ARCF, what do I think of this? I think it's very similar to all of the other ARC funds. They're all in great recovery here. ARCF has obviously some resistance over here. What I suggest, though, if you're trading these types of things and you like this fund, you've got to really think about it more as what are the parts underneath it. So go and look at the top 5 holdings and then do the TA on the top 5 holdings. And even if you're hitting this resistance, have a look at the top 5. How many of them are hitting resistance? Is it a lot of them? Do you want to hold a lot of them? Because I don't really think of this as, a trade kind of thing. This is more of an investment vehicle. Some people trade it, don't get me wrong. It's got a 2050 cross. Things are looking good. But I would go and check out the actual stocks in it, the top 5, see whether they're all hitting resistance. Probably a lot of them are. And then make a decision from that perspective whether you want to sell off at this zone or not. All of these stocks are all coming back. And you know what? Even though they went euphoric, and I understand they've been on crazy rises, this one in particular, wow, that's a big return there. Yeah, I think there is valid reasons for why these can go up over time. So yeah, it's good. Welcome to the 1,420 viewers as well, and thank you very much for giving some claps there to Jose, I think. D. Ponte Pereira. Wow, $50. And that's not even US dollars. That's even more dollars. My goodness, thank you very much, man. Hi, Tom. Thank you for the great education. Can you please let me know if you think the US 30 will pull back or not? Well, yeah, so the US 30, will this pull back? Oh. When do you want it to pull back, man? When? I guess now is when you want it to pull back. I kind of feel like, we're going into the strongest month of the year. It's July. It's a very strong month. Do I think it's going to pull back later on this year? Yeah. Do I think it's going to be a substantial pullback? I think it's going to be some decent percentage, 10, 15%. It's very possible here in a market like this. And this doesn't make me think, oh, I'm going to pull back just yet, man. We obviously had some short stocks that we were looking at that were in the Dow. We saw the buy up that occurred here. I hope you're not in trouble, by the way, on this stuff. But yeah, if it's going to pull back, it has to do it kind of here, because this is the last point before you hit the resistances and the peaks that it's got a chance. You know what I mean? It's got like that little bit of resistance through the previous level of support before it failed over here on the right-hand side. And it's hitting that kind of today. So maybe we'll see a late Friday sell-off from Wall Street. What you want to do, though, if you want to get on top of the Dow and know when it's really getting cracked, it's going to be a breach of this point here. But I think more importantly, you'll go over to the US 500. You'll just chuck this thing on a daily, and all you'll be looking for is a breach of the 50. A breach of the 50 is going to bring this market down at some point. Now, is it going to happen right now? Doesn't look like it, unfortunately, Jose. I wish I could tell you something else, but yeah, at this point, Dow Jones doesn't look weak. It's coming to resistance today, but we haven't seen a lower peak, lower trough scenario. We've got a peak, a trough, could be a lower peak, could come down. If it did, then breached under here again, breached the trend line at the same time. That's bearish, man. That's when the bears get control, right there, man. That level, not here. This is just speculation. Big speculation. Again, thank you for the very generous donation. We've got another big one coming in here from Ultimus, $9.99. He says, to the GOAT. Thank you. Go Baba. Appreciate that, man. And yeah, Baba. Baba. The story of the normal stocks today has been, I think, actually the Chinese stocks coming back into play here. They really are coming back in. Now, Beyond barely held on yesterday. Dunkin' Donuts, they said, no more of your crappy product. It's not crappy. I've eaten it. It's all right. But they said, no more of one of your crappy products. The big problem with Beyond investors is the moat. There's too many of these big fast food chains. They're going to come out and they're going to say, I think that, I'm going to make my own one. Don't worry about your Beyond Meat. We're going to make our own. It's just not a big cost of entry. I know a lot of people in this space, and a lot of them start kind of out of a kitchen. And there's huge plays here in the vegetarian, vegan movements. And I think Beyond's obviously the biggest with the big name. But yeah, I don't want it to breach under 143 at all. Another one that we saw starting to fire yesterday was Etsy. This still looks okay towards trying to go back to fill the move over here at 192. We did see some other ones starting to come through as well. Let's have a quick look at the squeeze stock. So we've got GME doing absolutely nothing good for us at this stage. We're going to have to wait till next week, or at least a Friday close either way. There's nothing bullish or bearish or anything about this market. It's making a series of lackluster kind of moves each day. I'm waiting for it to breach either zone. Obviously, if it gets back under this 198, then we're going back downtown. I could see it going to 140. If it gets above 240, we're back on, and I think the apes are back in there. AMC is going to be the tell, and it's going to be a 2-hour channel that you're looking at. Either way, we've got great structural proofs. So AMC in the middle of the range coming into the session. The big news today is, of course, SPCE and Nike. SPCE up 19.65%, something about them getting a license to do something. Speculative play, guys. You guys know my opinion. It's not good. And I think 59 is what a lot of people will be aiming for, whether it happens in today's session or the next couple of days session through hype. This is a hype stock, and it reminds me of every other hype stock that comes out. This is a pumpy and eventually a dumpy. That's my feeling on it anyway. Other ones that are moving, check out Nike. NKE, sorry. And this is up huge early, 14.36% the pre. I doubt it can hold it. Big result for it though. I'm looking for a pullback back to the 147, where I think some buyers may demand around that area. So that will probably be a level where you see some demand coming back into the market for this. If you're in it, congratulations, well done. If you're not in it, it's tough. I will watch that one through the open though to see how it deals with. So we'll dial in here. We've got 5 minute. We've got Nike. You guys vote on the one that you want to see. We'll watch the US 500 today because we've got that thing trapped. Let's go 15-minute time frame. So we're trapping that between a range. We have a very clear resistance that's being tested coming into the open. You can see it here, guys. On the fake market futures, we've got our support about 42.65, and then we've got our resistance around 42.75, 42.76. So we've certainly got both levels there. We'll watch Nike. We will probably watch SPCE just to see the madness unfold. We'll go there to the 5-minute chart for SPCE, and then we'll read some more of these. Ulrich Nielsen, DKK $20. ARK K ETF, could rejection at 129 affect the stocks? Tech stocks. It certainly would. So that's pretty much what you're seeing in ARK K. If we bring it up, Ulrich, is effectively we're seeing a movement here where if this is getting hit, what is this telling us? Every one of the big stocks within that particular fund are all hitting resistances. Now, if we see like a Tesla not hitting resistance and breaching and going off in the sun, then you're not going to be so worried about this level because obviously Tesla's a big part of it. But you are correct. What this means is a lot of them are hitting resistance, and we've got to pay attention to that. That's a point where you start to see a little bit of weakness. We're not going to just have, oh yeah, it's all great, everything's a green day like it's been the last couple of days for hyperstonks. It's been pretty easy to hold hyperstonks the last couple of weeks, which is good. And I think that's also why we're starting to see rotation into the JDs and the Barbers and stuff, because a lot of these hyperstonks are hitting resistance and we move to the next. Casper wants net. I think a few other people wanted net as well. I'll do that quickly. I love net. You guys know I love Cloudflare. It's a great stock. Big fan of it, guys. But I hate yesterday's candle on it. And I also feel like even though it's breached to a new high, it's such a beast run. It's probably extended, and maybe we need a little bit of a pullback here on net. So I'm not bullish on it like Crowd right now. So CrowdStrike's very, very similar. I'm just waiting. I just want to see more coil above the high with a further move on. I find these are very high valuations, and for that reason, I'm specifically looking at great setups. Not just good, I want great. On a high valuation stock that is absolutely very highly priced and very sensitive to news, I want amazing setups if possible. Jose says $5. I am long from the bottom. Just wanted to know if I should get out or keep going with the ride. You use the US 500 to tell you that, man. If the US 500 breaches high, then you know the US 30 is going to go through. And you got that trapped pretty hard. So we do have it trapped on the small time frame here. And we're going into the end of June into July, a notoriously bullish time in the markets, if you can look at it that way. So thank you very much for your donation. Recap. Markets, 4 minutes coming in. BTC, the story of scaredness today. Unfortunately, 32,873. It's not looking beautiful. I don't want it to get under here. No. No under 32,000 BTC. This is whales doing it, guys. If you want to find out what the whales are doing, use BTC shorts in TradingView, or also you can come over to DataMish or something like this. It's a cool graph. You can see the price correlation with the whales getting on in. And what happens is that sometimes the price can go against them, like it did over here, and then it dumps hard. But you've got to pay attention to when these nasty whales are getting in, because when the whales start the shorts, look at what happens when they start dumping those shorts down. They basically plunge the market when they build their short position. And right now we're seeing an extreme short position that's going up by the minute, by the hour in BTC. And that's not a good sign. Not a good sign. All right, we are ready. 3 minutes coming in. Let's read the chat, see what you guys are saying. What do you think about Chainlink? It's not a stock. Yeah, that's right. Crypto. We'll have a look at Chainlink. I'll bring it up. Chainlink. Oh, not that data. Use the Binance data. There we go. So, Chainlink, a bit disappointing yesterday. Let's have a look at it. Let's breach it down. So I was pretty bullish on this throughout the session yesterday, and actually breached high just here. And I think it's a case of, would you, what is the market telling us after that? And maybe this is where really being able to read the market's important. We probably don't have time to go through it today. So the closure occurs, that's actually quite bullish. And lightning bolt, trough, peak, high, trough, high, peak. And this happened across all the cryptos. And it's why I say cryptos are tough to trade right now, technically, because that's a great breach. Then we've got followed up by long leg doji, and if we got a decision made up here with a bullish close, I'm thinking absolutely 22 would have happened. I don't want it under here. Let's hope that the stops hold at 1740 and that this whole market starts turning around very, very quickly. Because if it doesn't, that's a huge problem for it. Huge problem. Smash the like button, says Dabbid. Absolutely. People want Fastly. They want Cat. They want everything. With Lucian, we did AMD in some detail. It was really good. Hit that like button. Need the song to pump coming into the open. All right, we'll do that. Do we have time? Oh my goodness, we're getting close, guys. Let's do this right now. Intro. All right. We're going to have to skip a little bit of it, guys, because we don't have time. All right. Welcome to Friday's open stream. Let's get in. And hopefully, it doesn't go like that. It goes like this. This is what we want. 30 seconds till market open, guys. All right, here we go. Opening in just a few seconds. We are ready. We've got the bell straight from America. Here we go. Oh, what a beautiful sound. Just let that play out there for a second. All right, now that your ears are bleeding because of the bell, we are ready to open. And you know what? I'm going to come visit America. We're going to check out that bell. I'm going to be very, very happy. It's awesome. So we're trading the best American market, or the best market in the world. It's going to be a good day. Hopefully, we see a continuation of hyper and a big, strong close in the Friday session. As I always say, with a big, strong week, sometimes the back end, there can be a little bit of profit taking. US 500 opens up pretty well here. You'll notice Space gets in at $48. This is a complete speculation, mad play, but you know what? It is what it is. And up the top here, we've got Nike coming in. Where's Nike? Hello? Oh, there you are. All the way up here at 151. So 147 is the previous peaks that we expect Nike to come back down to. It's already dropped 1%. SPCE, mad play. Let's scroll through the markets. Most markets completely flat. US 30 Dow actually the best at 0.29%. Hopefully works out for Jose. Tesla up 1%. Scroll through. Square down to be expected. TDOC firing again. Great. RK lackluster. SPLK continues up. Most of these stocks fairly flat to up, and Barber's probably one of the standouts here, 1.46%. And Enphase almost hit that peak there, 174. Wasn't that very close to the resistance target? So that's almost completing at that point to the first resistance. Baidu, 2%. Where's JD? 1.6%. The money is in the Chinese stocks at the moment. All these stocks that have been beaten down, I think the valuations look tasty to Wall Street, and that's why they're starting to look at them. They're getting rid of this whole, we're thinking it's risky, and they're going, you know what? It's time for us to rotate in. And I think we saw that rotation about a day ago. Let's scroll through. FedEx and UPS down, and on the other short potential, I'm still watching you, Crocs. I'll be checking Crocs out over the next couple of weeks, seeing if we ever get some bearishness there. So it's mostly green in a sea of pretty good stuff. The squeeze stocks, though, AMC, BlackBerry, not through the ranges. Tilray. Okay. Go over to the big stonks. Percentage change. Nike, the best. Netflix. That was a great trade, dude. Why didn't you tell me about that in the Discord community? By the way, !Discord. Join, or just click the link up above. Join the public Discord community, guys. If you want to get involved in the private one as well. Obviously, that is a paid service, but you're welcome to jump on over to fxevolution.com, check out our courses and other things. It's all about the Netflix today, filling that gap. Hopefully, it can get through to 540, maybe even today or Monday, who knows. Tesla's great. Movement coming back in here. Teladoc. Oh, it's great to see Teladoc firing. That's awesome. Alibaba. Yes. It's all good. Beautiful. On the bad side, Coinbase and Square. And they're not even that bad. Let's see what the chat says. His name is pronounced Jose. Jose. Okay. Thank you very much there, Christopher Collins. Appreciate that. I might need to do like a names course. Profit taking, be gentle, says Michael Wallen. That's right. Netflix at 5:30 says Dispor. Yeah. Am I wearing Crocs right now? Not just yet, but I do have one pair. Crocs are like awesome. But I still don't think the stock's worth its value. Is crypto future dark when Shiba will rise? If Shiba and Dogecoin rise and go crazy again, crypto's future is dark. It's not good. You don't really want... You really, really don't want Doge and Shiba to rise. I know a lot of you will downvote me for that, but if it does happen, it ruins confidence. And when you ruin confidence, it's not as an investable asset. You need the investors, guys. You need the true diamond hands to come in and believe. And if a meme is so popular, it's kind of like in the stock market right now. For a little bit there, it created a problem. It also created an excuse for Wall Street to smash all the hyper stocks. Lucian says, enjoy the weekend, Tom. Thank you very much, Lucian. Beyond is starting to break out. Is that true? 1.53. Not enough yet, man. Not enough yet. Has work to do. It probably needs even a 4% day to get hot. BLNK, that was the one that we got super chatted before. Nice movement up here. Beam, Barber. Look, they're all TDOC firing hard, going for that 170. It's amazing when it goes through. Whoa! Enphase, 4.25%. Hold back. That's a new breach. Wow. Wow, that is a beast. Oh, if it holds that, that's great. Maybe it will get you 200, 220 faster than you thought. The person that donated before. Nice. It's a good day, guys. All right. Well, anyway, that pretty much brings us to the end of our Friday session. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Obviously, I'm going to take off my nasty golden tie, but it has brought us good luck here in the markets. So maybe we'll have to bring it back out when we need good luck in the markets. BTC 33K. Hopefully that recovers through the weekend. Be very careful on the crypto markets right now. I would suggest that maybe one of the things you might want to look at is something like datamish.com. Not affiliated with them. Don't click that link. I don't know where that goes. Looks scary. And all BTC shorts, and just watch what the whales are doing. Ultimately, I don't care what anyone else says. We want to follow the price, and we want to follow big people, big trading whales, because whatever they're doing, we kind of need to join them. And unfortunately, they usually win the day. So as they're building a short position, it just keeps going up. We need them to, calm down a little bit, whales. Stop getting the shorts out. Stop getting the shorts out. Yeah, there's some pretty decent moves here. Etsy, another one, 1.98%. It's just a great movement. Baidu now 3.2. Ooh, all right, I better go. I will see you guys on Monday for the live stream. Obviously, I'll be making a weekend video, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Check that out. And yeah, I love the markets, guys. I hope you guys do too, and you do as well as you can for the session. We've got some good spots there throughout the week. It's been a fantastic week of hyper stonks. Lucian says the mood is changing. We'll see. Very early in the session, we're 2 minutes in. It usually with the stock market, the first hour is retail traders, then the rest is Wall Street, and the end is really the key to the Friday session. But I think going into June, going into July, overall we got to remain positive in this market. It's just statistically likely to be positive. And that's why with new peaks and stuff, we've got to just remain confident and calm until the price action tells us otherwise. Catch you, everybody. Have a great weekend. And for people that have to work through the Friday session, because of course it's like midnight here, good luck. Remember, it's Friday, and that's always a great day. Enjoy.